All right, boys, what's going on? We're here again with Premier League predictions for Match Week 9. Let's do a little recap on Match Week 8. So we have the Match Week 8 recap here. For a broad recap, we had 4 out of 10 1x2 right and 2 out of 10 correct scores right. I tried to color code this. I'm not very good at graphics and whatnot. In the Nottingham Forest Crystal Palace match, I had 0-0 predicted. It's an absolutely wrong prediction to go with 0-0. But when the match ends 1-0 like that, I feel like I was just on the right track. I would have been okay with a 1-1 final result, but 1-0 was just kind of, I get nothing from it, but I was thinking low scoring and a potential with 0-0 there. And I've been trying to get a 0-0 prediction, but it will not be there. Liverpool Chelsea, I predicted 2-1. It ends 2-1. Simple as that. You know, City wins 2-1. I predicted 3-1. When I have that part right, I do feel good about getting the Wolves to score part right. If I had just predicted one more City goal, it would have been perfect, but I have found success with staying under the total with City against a bottom team, so we're okay with that. I'm okay with the 3-1 prediction with the 2-1 result. Bournemouth Arsenal, I had 2-0 predicted to Arsenal. Bournemouth wins 2-0. I watched a majority of the match, and I mean, it's just a completely different game after the red card. Arsenal were just struggling to get out of their half. They did have good chances to equalize at some points, but in the end, Bournemouth took it away. Fulham Aston Villa, we had double red cards here. I predicted 1-1. Aston Villa ends up winning 3-1. Just pretty off. I was just pretty off there. I was trying to put respect on Fulham with how they've been playing lately, but no, Aston Villa still too good. They win 3-1. Ipswich Everton. If you've been watching, you can just tell Everton just give me trouble. I've gotten their correct score right once this year. Ipswich, I was finally trying to give respect to Ipswich, thinking, you know, they've been scoring. They're at home. They could maybe get it done against Everton. No, still not there for Ipswich yet. Everton ended up winning 2-0, and this could be the start of something good for Everton, so we'll keep that in mind as we make the predictions for next week. Manchester United and Brentford, I predicted 2-1. It ends 2-1. Not much to say. It does kind of suck that I have to almost answer for every incorrect prediction, but when I get a correct score absolutely bang on right, it's just, we just move on, right? We just move on from it, but that's just how it goes. Newcastle Brighton, I predicted 2-0 to Newcastle. Brighton win 1-0. Southampton and Leicester, I predicted 2-1 to Southampton. Crazy game. Leicester get a away win against Southampton. That's going to be massive for the relegation battle later on in the year, so it's a great win for Leicester. For the correct score for the 1x2, both incorrect. And then the early kickoff was Tottenham and West Ham. 2-1 to Tottenham. They win 4-1. So again, we had 4 out of 10 on the 1x2 markets, and we had 2 out of 10 correct scores right. Boys, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel and like the video. Let's get to the predictions. Leicester and Nottingham Forest. Right away, the most interesting thing to me is that Nottingham Forest played on Monday, and they're playing again on Friday, which is not that much rest considering Leicester played on Saturday. So something to think about. I wouldn't go overboard with that, but just something to think about. We do see that the books are giving 2.7 to Leicester, 2.5 to Nottingham, and 3.4 on the draw. They have both teams' score set at 1.75, which seems pretty normal here. The over-under is right at 2.5, and I think the reason for that is that Nottingham Forest have been playing very, very low-scoring games. 5 games there, 4 have been below 2.5. So we have seen both teams score no going into their last matches with the home team winning both. So seeing the total is 2.5, seeing the 1x2 market like this with the BTTS market at 1.75 just got me thinking that Leicester are going to get away with this result here. I think I will still go with Leicester to win 2-1 over Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa and Bournemouth here. We see Aston Villa at 1.85 on the 1x2 market, with Bournemouth being 3.8. We have to remember that Bournemouth is coming off a very nice win against Arsenal, albeit it was a red card. Still a result, still a nice win regardless. Recently, Aston Villa have beaten Bournemouth 3-1. They've drawn 2-2, 3-0. Aston Villa at home have been pretty insane so far this year. Their only loss has come to Arsenal. Bournemouth away from home, not the same story here. We've seen Bournemouth lose to Leicester, lose to Liverpool. They did beat Everton on that crazy comeback game. I think with the over-under sitting at 3 and the 1x2 being 1.85 for Aston Villa, I'm going to go with a Aston Villa 2-1 win over Bournemouth. Brentford and Ipswich. Brentford is 1.7 on the 1x2 market. Ipswich is 4.2 with the draw being 4.33. Right away, I'm a bit surprised Brentford is 1.7 2.7 at home. Somehow, some way, Brentford have already got done playing Liverpool, City, Tottenham, and United. They weren't able to beat City. They weren't able to beat Tottenham. They were not able to beat United. They actually lost all 4 of those games. But it's something to consider when you're dealing with Ipswich here, right? Because when Brentford have played other teams, they've played Wolves, they've played West Ham, and they've played Southampton and Crystal Palace, which they've gotten the result from all of them. They drew West Ham. You look at Ipswich here. I've been trying to figure them out. They are still on the search for their first Premier League win of the season. The over-under is just right around 3. For this match, Brentford and Ipswich, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Brentford win. Brighton and Wolves. We see Brighton sitting at 1.54, which is pretty low for a team like Brighton. I know Wolves have not been good, but it's hard for me. I know. I was just going to say it's hard for me to say Wolves are a bad team, but I mean, they have fight, right? They got fight. That may not get them any points, but like, come on, they've scored in every single match of the season. Am I wrong? No, they've scored in every single match this season. Could we be expecting a high total here? The books have the total set about 3.25. Both teams score sitting at 1.62. I do believe Wolves can score, right? If Wolves can score in all these matches, Brighton should not be some insane team that they cannot score on. Even with all these losses that the Wolves have seen lately, I still think in this match, I'm going to go with a 1-1 Brighton Wolves draw. Manchester City and Southampton. We see City at 1.07. Not much to say about that. The over-under sits at, 4? Looks like just around 4. Both teams' score is too odd. They're really not feeling Southampton's going to get one. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it straightforward. Manchester City to beat Southampton 4-0. Everton and Fulham. After all that Everton slander to start the season, they are catching form now, right? This is what I was mentioning earlier in the recap. We have to start paying attention now. I know it was only an Ipswich win, but still, an away win for Everton, away from home, not letting Ipswich score at all. That's a good win. And we have Fulham here. They've played City, they played Villa, and they lost both games. And they've conceded 3 in both matches. So something to think about there. The odds here have this game dead on, right? 2.75 for Everton to win, 3.3 for the draw, and 2.55 for Fulham to win. The total sits at about 2.5. I think the way I'm viewing this match, the way I'm thinking about this match, I would be very upset if I did not predict what I'm thinking in my head right now. And that prediction is Everton, Fulham, 1-1. Chelsea and Newcastle. Right away, we see Chelsea sitting at 1.8 on the 1x2 with Newcastle at 3.9. I really want to back Chelsea here. Immediately, without looking at anything, without overthinking it, I really just want to back Chelsea here. We have to start talking about Newcastle. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want to start overcompensating for what I think about Newcastle and then end up looking stupid when Newcastle somehow draw this 2-2 or something, right? That's not the prediction. That's just kind of like what I'm afraid could happen in this match. So let's look at the total here. We're sitting at about 3.5. They're thinking goals here. Oh gosh. Now that I've already said out loud 2-2, 3.5 total sitting there. They've only scored 2 goals in their last 3 Premier League matches and 3 goals in their last 4 Premier League matches, which is just not good. I feel like this could be the game though. This could be the game, especially if you think about Chelsea playing in conference. This game could be one where I could see them dropping it. And you know what? I'm going to go with what I said earlier. Chelsea, Newcastle, 2-2 draw. Crystal Palace and Tottenham. We have Tottenham away from home at 1.8, which is, it's shocking to me. Like, let's just call it for what it is. It's shocking to me. I mean, Crystal Palace they don't have a win yet. That is 0 wins, 3 draws, 5 L's. You would think that you would see Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and maybe Tottenham, I would have expected to be getting 1.6. It feels like Crystal Palace at home usually play to their opponent, which could be somewhat beneficial in a match like this. Tottenham away from home, other than that Brighton disaster class, have been pretty solid. The over-under sits at about 3. Something about this match makes me want to just pick 1-1 here too. You know what? After looking at Crystal Palace's recent results here, after looking at Tottenham's recent results, and even the last 2 matches Tottenham played Crystal Palace, I'm doing it. I'm going to do the crazy thing. I might get the score wrong. On this one, but this one I'm going for something different. I'm going for an actual upset prediction. I'm going with Crystal Palace to beat Tottenham 2-1. West Ham versus Manchester United. We are seeing the odds all above 2. We have West Ham at 2.8, United at 2.3 with a draw at 3.75. And then if we go to the recent head-to-heads here, just a few to look at. United's won 3-0, West Ham's won 2-0, West Ham's won 1-0, 3-1 United, and then 1-0 United there. West Ham at home have won the last 2 matches. They've won 2-0 and 1-0 here. So the total is sitting at 3. The one thing I'm trying to decide in my head right now is this this a draw type of match, or is United going to take the points here? With West Ham being 2.8, the both teams to score being 1.5, and the over-under being 3, it feels like they're really trying to guide us into a 2-1 United win. I think with all those things in mind, with United's midweek schedule, with the odds in this match, the both teams to score, and the total, I'm going to go with a West Ham Manchester United 1-1 draw. And then we have the biggest match of match week 9, Arsenal versus Liverpool. I'm looking forward to this match. Liverpool away from home, an absolute unit. They are just getting results left and right in Champions League as well. Recent head-to-head here brings us to Arsenal have won 3-1. Liverpool have drawn them 1-1, and they've drawn 2-2. The odds sit for Arsenal at 2.2. Liverpool is 3.3. And now I'm curious to see that people know Saliba's out. The odds are 2.2 for Arsenal. The total in this match sits at 2.5, 2.75. It's close. I'm going to go with Arsenal to beat Liverpool 2-1. All right, boys, that wraps up the Premier League predictions for match week 9. Again, boys, if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys are feeling for the 1x2 predictions, your player props, all of it. I love seeing what everyone's thinking themselves. I love you guys. I will see you on the next one.